Hi, my name is Alejandra Cornejo and I am a high school student. I am going to talk about the Cold War. The Cold War was a long period of tension from 1945 to 1991 between the United States and the Soviet Union because of their political differences. The USA was based in capitalism and the Soviet Union in communism. In consequence of the different ideologies, many countries had many economic and social changes. The Cold War is also known as a period of bipolarity because the power was distributed in two states, USA and Soviet Union, which had the majority of economic, military, and cultural influence internationally. It is important to note that the two superpowers never officially declared war to each other. They fought indirectly in proxy wars, the arms race, and space race. During this period, some major events took place, like the Berlin Wall in 1961 or the Suez Crisis in 1956. So, what does the term Cold War refers to? It refers to a state of rivalry and tension between two different groups or individuals that doesn't reach violent confrontation. So, how each economic system works? The economic system of capitalism is characterized by the absence of the government intervention, so the trades, industries, and the means of production are entirely private. Capitalism says that inequality is essential to encourage innovation and economic development between the markets, which makes them to be fully competitive. The concept of capitalism was created by Adam Smith, who before the Industrial Revolution, he noticed that in order to keep the world advancing, the free markets were necessary, so he opened the world to the economic system of capitalism. So now that we already know what capitalism is, the economic system of socialism is kind of the opposite, because it is a non-market economy in which the intervention of the government is necessary in distributing goods and resources and determining the prices. One of its main characteristics is that socialism is focused in redistributing the resources from the rich people to the poor people. The origin of socialism starts during the French Revolution of 1789, when Henri de Saint-Simon proposed that the production and distribution of the scientific organization of industry and society must be carried out by the state, allowing equal opportunities of development between people. Now I made the interview to my father, Alejandro Cornejo. He is 51 years old and he knows some information about the Cold War. What countries were the world leaders during this period?
Okay, there were two superpowers, the Soviet Union and the United States of America.
Why did countries who were allies during the wars become enemies afterwards?
Well, because after the war, there was a big political and economical instability. European and Western countries needed to establish a new political and economic model to recover from all the damages left from the wars. So two major ideologies started to establish in Europe, socialism and capitalism. The interests in countries changed, so new allies were formed. On one side, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which included the US and a capitalist ideology, and all five Brussels Treaty nations, which are Canada, Denmark, Iceland, Italy, Norway, and Portugal. On the other hand, the Warsaw Pact, with a communist ideology, was formed. Its members include the Soviet Union, Poland, East Germany, Albania, Bulgaria, Czechoslovakia, Hungary, and Romania.
Where did the Cold War take place?
The Cold War was not a destructive war like the ones before. It was primarily between the US and Western Union and the Soviet Union and the Eastern Europe. Since there was just tension and the risk of a war between these two superpowers, there wasn't an exact place on the war. The regions between East and West Europe, and specifically the divided city of Berlin in Germany, were the tensest and most likely to have a violent war. There were some proxy wars, like the War of Vietnam, in which the US fought in order to limit the spread of the communism, and another one, that was the War of Afghanistan, where the Soviet Union invaded. Even though there were some conflicts during the Cold War, None of them reached the point of making a hot war between these two superpowers.
What opinion did the general public have of the Cold War?
In my opinion, is that during the Cold War, these countries wasted a lot of money in high technology weapons instead of investing on developing the rest of the nation affected by the World War II. However, at the end, the technology and science progress was beneficial for medical applications such as radiation or generation during
Use.
power generation using nuclear energy.
What type of weapons did the two world powers have at their disposal?
The United States and the Soviet Union both had nuclear weapons and a lot of troops in their tanks to strike the territory of each other.
Thank you. In conclusion, I also think that this Cold War was a big waste of money. Anyway, I think that it had its benefits, like capitalism, which nowadays is the most common type of government because it made the economy of many countries to increase. Socialism also has its benefits, like the aid of the government in the economy. I think that in order to have a good politic in a nation, both ideologies are necessary to maintain equilibrium. Ideologies are necessary to maintain equilibrium. Thank you so much for your attention. I hope you have a nice day.